Among the millions of dumb things that I see regularly posted on the internet, the popular meme, "your house is not an asset," is one I see so commonly, and it's so wrong. And the people who share it are just too lazy to be bothered to care. Well, I care, so I'm gonna rant at you about it for a minute. Here's what's happening. You'll see a meme that says your house is not an asset. And what they're saying is your primary residence, the house you live in, isn't an asset because it costs you money every month instead of making you money. And to build real wealth, you need things that actually produce an income. I recognize that the people who shared are trying to change your mindset to a more broader understanding of wealth building beyond the old American dream of buying a house, paying it off over the years while it goes up in value, and creating a little nest egg of equity for yourself. They're imploring you to think of ways to buy assets to produce income rather than just get paid off. And let me be abundantly clear that this is a highly valuable mindset shift to make, and I believe that the people who share it mean well. Unfortunately, teaching you that your house is not an asset is factually incorrect, and the best case scenario here is that they know that this is incorrect and they just don't care. And the worst case scenario is that they don't even know that the information that you're giving you is incorrect. No matter how good their intentions, do you really want to learn from a person who's giving you false information because they are either too stupid to know better or they respect you so little that they aren't willing to take the time to teach you correctly? I say hell no. Luckily, I respect the shit out of you, and I'm gonna take my time to explain how this all works in great detail. First, let's break out that old dictionary. An asset defined by Investopedia is a resource with economic value that an individual, corporation, or country owns or controls with the expectation that it will provide a future benefit. Is a house a resource with an economic value that comes with the expectation to provide a future benefit? Of course. What other things are considered assets? Gold, cash, your car is an asset. My rentals are an asset. A 401k is an asset. Stocks are assets. In financial accounting, the statement that reports a personal or corporate list of assets and liabilities is called a balance sheet. On the left goes assets, always. On the right goes liabilities. Every company on earth has a balance sheet because every company has assets and every company has liabilities, and this is the universally standard way that we add them up. Even you as an individual have a balance sheet since you own assets, and you probably have liabilities too. For your personal use, we usually refer to this as a net worth calculator, but it is the same identical thing. Liability side of the balance sheet is where we put debts, things that you owe to other entities. Since your house is an asset, the mortgage that you owe to the bank for that house is the liability. Other liabilities include your car loan, credit cards, tax bills, and anything else that you owe money for. According to GAAP, that's generally accepted accounting practices, the system that everybody, including all public companies in the United States, use for financial reporting, your house is and always will be, now and forever, inarguably, technically, and pragmatically, always an asset. The only people who don't think so are the creators and share of this knucklehead meme. Now let's go back to how this started and how such a straightforward idea got convoluted into so much nonsense that I had to make a video to explain it correctly. The notion that your house is not an asset silliness is trying to explain is that the house you live in doesn't generate income, which is correct. And therefore it is not a great investment, which is sometimes also correct. A savvy investor, specifically a real estate investor, usually wants something called cash flow. That's money coming in every month. The house you live in doesn't have tenants, so it can't produce any cash flow. Hence the gross and negligent oversimplification into your house isn't an asset. But just because something doesn't produce cash flow doesn't mean it's not an asset. Is gold not an asset because it doesn't pump off cash flow? What about a house that doesn't make money now, but makes money later? Is that an asset or a liability? Stupid question. A house is always an asset. What if you have a house that doesn't produce cash flow, but then you Airbnb the basement and it does cash flow positive? Did it go from a liability to an asset? No. It was always an asset. Many people will sit there and say, Alex, you know what they're trying to say. You're just angry about the semantics. Is it really worth getting so mad for? Well, let me be clear. I'm actually not that mad. I just like to lean into the anger for the sake of theatrics. But secondly, these people are going on the internet and they are having the audacity to teach the next person. And while admirable by intent, they are teaching fundamentally incorrect things. And it shows a complete disrespect for the responsibility that they are undertaking by acting as a mentor. Luckily for you, I take my responsibility to shit talk on the internet incredibly seriously. All that being said, there is a beautiful silver lining here. If you notice that one of these intellectually bankrupt memes on your feed, you can rest assured that the person who posted it is either short-sighted or a lazy charlatan trying to sell you some overpriced education about something that they just learned 2 or 3 years ago. Since it is an ongoing task to find out what idiot to ignore on the internet, and this person has gone ahead and done the heavy lifting for you. In that regard, I am very grateful when people post this stupid nonsense because it makes my life so much easier. And actually, in retrospect, you should probably keep going ahead and saying your house is not an asset because it gives me great content to ridicule. Last few things. 1, make sure you hit that subscribe button as hard as you possibly can. 2, I would love to make content about questions or topics that my viewers actually want to know about, so put something in the comments and I'll do the best I can to help you out. And 3, hit that subscribe button as hard as you can because I deserve it.